panic spreading across China as it battles the first of its 3 expected coronavirus waves this winter. It's putting pressure on medical resources and intensifying fears over the shortage of COVID-19 medicines in China and beyond. Authorities are speeding up imports of supplies and ramping up vaccinations for the vulnerable, even as they continue to loosen restrictions.
China officially reported its first COVID-related deaths since the easing of restrictions. While officials announced that 2 people have died, there are reports of hearses bearing bodies lining the driveway to a designated COVID-19 crematorium in Beijing. Around 20 body bags were also seen at the adjacent funeral parlour, feeding anxiety that there could be more deaths than reported. The surging infections have already sparked frenzied buying of medicine and test kits. There have been long queues and empty shelves in pharmacies since last week. The panic buying has spread to Hong Kong and even Thailand.
听说在外面现在市场上已经买不到各种感冒药了，跟感冒发烧这些药都买不到了，所以说我们现在的想法就是赶快在这边买一点先寄回去。
เยอะค่ะก็จะมีต่างชาติบ้างมีคนจีนบ้างถ้าอย่างที่เห็นได้ชัดก็จะเป็นคนจีนมีเท่าไหร่เขาก็จะเอาหมดเลยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
Pharmacies in Bangkok even had to limit the purchase of painkillers to prevent foreigners from bulk buying. Chinese officials say they will speed up the global procurement of COVID-related drugs to relieve pressure from domestic shortages. Food suppliers in Beijing are also working at full capacity, given more residents are stocking up as they stay home to avoid getting infected. To cope with the rising COVID cases, the capital's Guang'an Gymnasium have been converted into a makeshift fever clinic. And in Shanghai, a majority of the schools are closed as classes move online. Nurseries and childcare centres will also be shut. Health workers have scaled up door-to-door vaccinations for the elderly, seen as a crucial requirement for the country to reopen to the world.
A further easing of COVID restrictions in Macau. The government is cancelling its restrictions on risk zones in mainland China, including quarantine requirements. COVID rules had hammered revenues in the world's biggest gambling hub. But from tomorrow, all arrivals into Macau via the mainland will need to show a negative test result conducted within the last 72 hours. It was previously at 48 hours. Macau is heavily reliant on Chinese visitors. Tourists from China, Hong Kong and Taiwan account for more than 90% of total visitors.